Hello, back with another video. And I want to talk about Marianne Bevan, an English woman who around about 1906, she developed this disease called acromegaly. That's her on the left when, she had looked normal. And then when she started developing that disease, that's her on the right. And this is one brave lady. I just had to talk about it because this disease, it enlarged the hands, feet, forehead, jaw, nose, thickened the skin, and deeper of the voice. And Marianne was a nurse. And when she started developing this disease and it started changing her appearance, they didn't want to be around her. So she was married. She was married to a guy named Thomas Bevan. He was devoted to her. He loved her. He didn't care how she looked. She didn't want to go to work. People talking about you. So, she decided to stay home and he was the breadwinner and he was all for it. He didn't want his wife going to work, getting humiliated, getting talked about and laughed at and, all that. Well, Thomas had died and left her. They had 4 children together, left her, to take care of the children. Like I say, she had already had quit her job as a nurse because of her appearance. So the only way that Marianne had what she had to do, what she had to do to support her family, she entered into these contests, the Ringling Brothers Circus, and they was laboring her as the ugliest woman in the world. And she would sit there and let them humiliate her and talk about her, and God knows what was coming out their mouth. She did what she had to do to take care of her kids. You sitting there, you letting people talk about you and joke about you, and I think I read somewhere they were throwing stuff at her shit and stuff. This whole situation was sad, and I had to do a video on it because this was my first time ever hearing about this stuff. She made her own way in the world for her family. To me, that's a hero. That's, to me. And, great mothers, us mothers, we do what we can, do anything for our children. And that's what she did. The stuff, but the stuff that she went through, and I know it took a toll on her because you sitting there and, they calling you names, you calling you ugly. They even, they had her on Hallmark postcards and stuff, the ugliest woman, until, they stopped that. People was complaining about it. I think was it the whoever owned Hallmark, he put a stop to that because she was on a Hallmark postcard. People was buying these cards and stuff. It was crazy. But what I do know, when she was entering the circus and the Ringling Brothers and stuff, they were bringing in so much money because of her. And she was taking home a lot of money where she was able to send all 4 of her kids to boarding school where they can live comfortably. She did it for her kids. Like I said, she did it for her kids. And like I said, she had a husband and he thought a lot of her. To me, that's all it really matters. And, if you let people talk, it's, long as your husband loves you and he tells you you're beautiful, whatever, the hell what everybody else has to say. That's how I see it. But this is such a sad story. Marianne was a strong, loving, and caring woman. The love she had for her kids is far more important than society thought of her. So God bless her. This is sad. This is sad. And I admire this lady for putting her children before herself, though. And I think, society today can learn a lot from her. They can. But we live in a world today, and to this day, people do judge people on their appearance. They do. Um, I'm the type of person, I had a friend girl, to get off subject, there was this guy that was like her. We was out in the club and stuff. She wasn't liking him because to her, he wasn't the best looking thing and all that and stuff, but he was nice. And I'm sitting here telling her, I've always been like that, so you really can't go by looks and all that. You get you a man that respect you and take care of you and all that kind of stuff. Don't, that to me, if he would have cracked on me or whatever, I would have gave him a chance. But she didn't want to go that route. She, and then the guy who she was going with, he was doing her wrong and all that and stuff. I just told her, I just think you just let a good thing get away because you just judged him on her appearance. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't the ugliest thing or whatever, but he wasn't all that neither. So he wasn't, to her, he was ugly or whatever. To me, he wasn't. We different and stuff. But, yeah, she let a good thing get away. That dude met him somebody and got married and have kids. And the girl who he married, she said that was the best thing that ever happened to her, or whatever, was him and stuff. So I was telling my friend girl, I said, you sitting here going through all that stuff through that dude you was going with or whatever. I believe he was something to you and stuff. But it is what it is. People do. We got some cold-hearted, cruel people in this world, mean people in this world. They just say anything to people and stuff and don't care how it hurts your feelings. And I really do hate that Marianne had went through that. I do. She died in 1933 and stuff. It's just the love she had for her kids. And we just got to do what you got to do to take care of them babies. She made her own way in the world for her family. Like I say, that chick a hero to me. And beauty lies in the heart of a person, not in his or her appearance. To me, she was a beautiful woman and stuff. A one strong, beautiful woman. And it's too bad that people called her names and stuff. I mean, Marianne, she sit there and let people talk about her. If you Google her and stuff, she sit there and she went through that humiliation. It was all for her kids and stuff. So, yeah, I just had to do a story on this because this was sad. And yeah, about the Hallmark card. This was in the early 2000s when her image was on a birthday card in United Kingdom made by Hallmark cards. Yeah, the cards made reference to dating show Blind Date. A complaint was made by a Dutch physician that he thought it was so disrespectful to a woman who had become deformed as a result of the disease. So Hallmark agreed that it was inappropriate and they stopped the distribution of the card. Yeah, so this was in the 2000s. I thought this was back then when all this had happened. About they had her picture, her image on the Hallmark card. Sad. This is so sad in so many levels. But like I said, this was a great woman. She was a hero, and you do what you got to do to raise them babies and stuff. She sent them to boarding school. Fed them, dressed them. She wanted the best for her kids. She didn't give a damn what people were saying about her, which, I read it said it was hurtful to her to sit there and let them talk about her and say mean things to her. So that's the end of this video.